Hello and welcome to the history of Stargate universe. Today's episode, Varro, and here we go. Varro was a member of the Lucian Alliance and served as Kiva's lieutenant until he joined the Destiny expedition. Varro was born on an unspecified planet in the Milky Way galaxy and has at least one brother. His father was a hunter who taught him survival and tracking skills as well as a respect for nature. At some point, he joined the Lucian Alliance. He has first aid skills and possesses knowledge about bomb design. He was also married, but lost his wife when an awning collapsed in a storm. In 2009, Varro joined Commander Kiva on regular trips to Earth to gain information from Colonel David Telford. When Dr. Nicholas Rush was captured by the Alliance while attempting to impersonate Telford, Varro questioned him about what the Destiny is like. Rush described it as a rust bucket. When asked by Rush what would happen if he couldn't dial Destiny, Varro told Rush that he would be Rush's executioner. During the invasion of Destiny, Varro was shot in the initial confrontation. Kiva ordered Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson to help him. She managed to remove the bullet and stitch his wound, saving his life. He remained in the infirmary and attempted to make peace with his rescuer at no avail. When Kiva and Telford were brought in, having been shot, he asked Danik what was going on. Danik ordered that the military personnel be brought to him. Hearing this, Airman Chen grabbed an Alliance soldier's gun and sprayed the room with machine gun fire. Varro and Kaz were unharmed, but TJ was hit. Varro managed to subdue the officer with his own pistol and shot him in the chest at close range. Varro arrived in time to keep Danik from executing the military personnel. Using the long-range communication device, he had a team of doctors brought in to save Kiva and the other wounded. Though Kiva didn't survive, Varro convinced Danik to send the Destiny expedition through the gate instead of killing them. Later on, when Rush threatened to kill everyone on the ship by dropping the shields, Varro suggested negotiation. Danik, having grown increasingly irrational and paranoid, assumed Varro to be a threat to his leadership. He banished Varro and the men loyal to him to the same planet the expedition had been sent to. On the planet, Varro tried to put aside his differences with Young, but his efforts were in vain. After Gin killed Danik and surrendered to Rush, Varro and his men returned to Destiny with the expedition members. They were locked up while Young decided what to do with them. After the invasion, he and the other captured Lucian Alliance members were interviewed by Camille Ray to determine if they could prove useful. He was part of a list created by Ray and Colonel David Telford and was allowed to stay. He and Jen met with Young and tried to find a way for them to gain a mutual trust, only to be denied. He went to Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson to offer his condolences, as she had just lost her child. She later provided them with blankets and supplies as a sign of thanks for the Alliance cooperation, and for his concern for her. After Simeon killed Gin and Dr. Amanda Perry, Colonel Everett Young confronted him, suspecting that he could be involved. Varro denied having any involvement, but revealed that Simeon and Gin were of the same clan, and that he could have important information regarding the attack on Earth. He also warned Young that he shouldn't underestimate Simeon. After the incident with Simeon, the Alliance forces were locked up again, and Varro appealed to a sympathetic Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson to release them. Needing help in the infirmary during the drone attack on Destiny, TJ asked for his help, which he gave her without hesitation. When Eli Wallace came up with a way to dial Earth, Varro was excited to go, and got annoyed when it took too long, and then got called off until everything was explained. When the second Destiny was raided for parts, Varro was part of a team that went over and discovered a dangerous compartment and narrowly avoided injury. He led a team consisting of several Alliance soldiers accompanied by a single Marine, suggesting that they managed to earn back at least a measure of trust. 2010. When Senator Michaels and Dr. Andrew Corvell came aboard, Varro was in the infirmary, learning from Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson. According to her, Varro turned out to be pretty good at first aid. Later, when word reached him of the Lucian Alliance attack on Earth, Varro offered his help as he knew how to disarm the Lucian Alliance Naquadria bomb that was being used. He attempted to explain it in the few seconds an FTL jump gave him to Master Sergeant Ronald Greer and Camille Ray. but didn't have time, but later successfully explained it to Senator Michaels and Corvell. Sometime later, Varro volunteered the services of his remaining men and himself to Lieutenant Matthew Scott in order to track a predator who had taken Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson and Corporal Reynolds captive. The group strongly believed them to be alive after looking at the camp and picked up on the trail. He lost several of his team during the ambush. He treated Colonel Everett Young's injuries and took up lead on the mission after pointing out to Young that he'd only be a liability with his injury. Young, showing trust in Varro, gave him his gun and implored him to rescue TJ safely. After killing the creature in their own ambush, he witnessed Tessa being taken by another predator, making him the only Alliance member left on the ship. He and Master Sergeant Ronald Greer worked together to rescue their shipmates, and Varro discussed with Greer how Greer reminded him of a friend of his who died on a suicide mission. Varro creates a distraction for Greer to rescue TJ and Reynolds, and meets up with the three afterwards, explaining that he managed to lose the predators chasing them and circled back around. Afterwards, at Greer's recommendation, Varro was released into general population with no escort. Back on the ship, he and TJ shared a private moment before he assisted in the preparation of a space deer. After Destiny arrives at Novus, and Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson learns that her alternate timeline self has Lou Gehrig's disease, Varro comes down to comfort her. When the team is making their escape up a ladder, the rung he holds on to breaks loose and he falls, but is later returned to Destiny, severely injured after Colonel Young rescues him, though he does survive. Before Destiny was forced to recharge from a blue giant, he almost completely recovered, being able to carry a Lucian Alliance rocket launcher and use it to take down a berserker drone, with the help of Lieutenant Vanessa James. Later, he enters a stasis pod with the rest of the crew, after saying goodbye to Lieutenant Tamara Johannesson. Hey, thank you for watching the history of Stargate Universe. Special thanks to the Stargate Wiki for all information you heard today. Very special thanks to Royalty Free Tube for this fantastic background. Have a great day. Bye-bye.